Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 19 starts with a flashback of the lodestone sand sealing blade being made by Shinki and Arya. So the way that it works is Shinki imbued the sword with some of his chakra, and combined with Arya's wind style techniques or wind style jutsus, he'll be able to manipulate or control the sand to some extent. You know, he's not exactly going to be as powerful as Shinki is, but he will be able to like slice it, move it around, do stuff with it, so it kind of works together in a combination. And then Arya's kind of like, hey man, you should pay some attention to Yodo. All you do is talk about your father. And then he's like, well, all you do is talk about Yodo. And then he has to explain, it's like, it's not like that. So we cut over to Arya, Sarada, Mitsuki, and Yodo fighting against Ryu. And the way that it works is Arya is playing defense. He's going to slice through all of the iron sand, and then Sarada and Mitsuki is going to go offense, and Yodo, she just kind of stays in the back and tries not to get hurt, okay? So Ryu starts attacking him with the iron sand, and Arya slices through them, and Sarada attacks using fire style, fireball jutsu, and Mitsuki attacks with his snakes, but Ryu disintegrates into iron sand before like any heavy blow can be dealt to him. So then Yodo starts sensing Ryu, and she goes, right there, at 2 o'clock or wherever he is. And then Arya starts gathering the iron sand, and Ryu starts to like clump together, starts appearing, and Mitsuki strikes with his snakes, and Sarada uses her Chidori against him, but then he disintegrates again before like any massive damage was done. So Mitsuki landed one hit, and Sarada kind of hit him with the Chidori, but not really. So after that, we cut over to Konohamaru and Matsuri arguing, and it's kind of like Konohamaru is like, you're so selfish, why can't you just not call me Konohamaru-chan? And she's just like, I just want to call you Konohamaru-chan, you're the selfish one here, you're the picky one. And she starts getting like really angry at him, and then it cuts over to Ada like watching the whole thing on her Senrigan, and she's like, well, actually, it's not so much that her not calling you Konohamaru-chan, it's more so like you two don't have a relationship like you do with Moegi, where she can call you Konohamaru-chan. And so Kashin Koji talks to Ada, and he says, what's the update? What's the situation? And she explains the situation with everybody fighting against Ryu, and Konohamaru's situation against Matsuri. And Boruto is like, I need to go in there. I need to help them out. And Kashin Koji's like, wait, not yet. You know what I mean? It's not the time. Now is not the time. So it kind of implies that there is a time for Boruto to jump in. And so in the midst of all of that, the Shinju are talking amongst themselves, and they talk about Inoshika Cho and how they defied their instincts or like their survival needs over, you know, helping their friend, even though they knew that they would lose or get hurt. So they call it like, well, he essentially names love as the number one reason why humans are held back, or they don't achieve their goals, or they don't react based on their instincts. You know what I mean? If we were robots and we just did everything that we were programmed to do, that would be most ideal for us to like accomplish our goals or be who we want to be. But because of love, personal attachments, and so on, it kind of holds some of us back. And meanwhile, they get a look at Matsuri going up against Konohamaru, and she's just like, I can't stop thinking about you, Konohamaru. I'm obsessing over you, but maybe if I devour you, it'll all go away. What do you say? And Jura tells them that they have to learn love and to overcome it in order to achieve their goals and commit to their instincts, basically. So it's essential that they understand it or they learn about it, so that way they can go against it. They can like turn it off or leave it alone and stuff like that, which I don't know if they'll be able to do, but you know, it's a possibility, or maybe at least Jura will. So then it's back to the others versus Ryu, and Yodo senses Ryu above them, and Arya again clumps them together, but Ryu unleashes some claw grimes outside of him, and they start attacking everything. And Mitsuki unleashes his snakes to attack them, and Sarada uses fire style Phoenix flower jutsu and burns them and hits them, but it can't get all of them, the sheer number that he lets out. And then Yodo kind of gets bitten by one of them, or like attacked, and Arya tries to help her by slashing it, but the blade gets stuck in one of the claw grimes. And then in that moment, Ryu takes the claw grime with the blade in it and throws it into one of the claw marks on the claw grime, and then Arya basically loses his lodestone sand sealing blade, so now he can't manipulate the iron sand, and Ryuk is free to attack them all. And so we finally cut over to Matsuri and Konohamaru talking, and it's basically her telling Konohamaru is like, all right, you ready to become one, Konohamaru-chan? And that's where the chapter ends. And I really think that this chapter was pretty quick, especially because it was a lot of action pages and stuff, mainly with Ryu and the others. I like the kind of Shinju talking about love, or like they feel like the need to understand it or to learn from it. They're full with new emotions right now, and love is one of them that they're kind of learning about. And so I think right now we're finally seeing what the Ryu Shinju is capable of, what the Shinobi are capable of facing off against him. It doesn't feel like they're kind of losing to them. Like, they're not outside of their league. Like, they could actually fight, but it's more so Arya helping them out with the Lodestone Sand Sealing Blade and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes in the next chapter. But the action sequences were cool. I liked it. I thought Konohamaru was going to start fighting, but it's looking more like next chapter or something. And yeah, I think this is a really good chapter. I think it shows everybody being tested a little bit, and we get a little more inside knowledge of what the Shinju want or how they're going to overcome love. So overall, I give this chapter an 8.3 out of 10. There were so many moments where I was kind of like, I'm not a huge fan of them continuing to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I kind of just like want it all in one, you know? I want all of the Ryu and Sarada fight to kind of be in one sequence, and then we get cut over to Konohamaru and them, you know? But I get it. Go back and forth to build up tension and to give you a little bit more understanding of what each character is going through bit by bit. It's cool, but, you know, I just want to see them fight and use some cool jutsus and stuff like that. I don't know. So yeah, I think there's just a little bit more that could be improved on this chapter, especially with Konohamaru and Matsuri. I wanted more of a fight between them, and Konohamaru's just like bickering and arguing with her, but I thought that was kind of funny anyways. So yeah, 8.3. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah.